I found my wife in her office conference room with another man, but what shocked me wasn't the affair. It was our daughter watching. The anniversary roses feel heavy in my hand as I walk through the lobby of Rebecca's law firm. 24 red roses, one for each year we've been together, their stems wrapped in that crinkly cellophane that sounds like whispers. Emma bounces beside me, her little backpack shaped like a unicorn bumping against her hip with each skip. She's clutching her own surprise, a drawing she made at preschool this morning. "For Mommy's special day," she'd said. Something was wrong with how silent the office was. Sarah, the receptionist I've known for 5 years, looks up from her desk. Her smile freezes, then melts into something that looks like panic. "Oh, David, Rebecca didn't mention you were coming today." "It's a surprise," I say, lifting the roses. "Anniversary." Sarah's fingers hover over her phone. No need. I'm already walking past her desk. I know where her office is. The hall stretches longer than I remember. Our footsteps echo on the marble, my dress shoes clicking steady beats, Emma's light-up sneakers flashing pink with each step. The roses smell too sweet, almost funeral sweet, mixing with the sharp scent of office coffee and printer toner. Rebecca's corner office door is open, but she's not there. Her desk is neat as always, legal briefs stacked in the perfect right angles, her coffee mug, the one I bought her that says "World's Best Mom," sitting cold and half full. The lipstick mark on the rim is perfect, untouched since morning. "Where's Mommy?" Emma asks, already losing interest, wandering toward the window that overlooks downtown. Then I hear it, her laugh. That specific laugh she does when she's trying to impress someone, higher than her real laugh, punctuated with little gasps. It's coming from the conference room. The blinds were closed, but I heard her laugh. The conference room door has one of those narrow windows beside it, covered with horizontal blinds. Through the slats, I see shapes, movement. At first, my brain refuses to process what my eyes are seeing. Rebecca's blazer, the navy one I helped her pick last month, is on the floor. Her hair, usually pinned in that careful lawyer bun, spills across the conference table. I know Mark. We've had dinner with Mark and his wife. Our kids have play dates. Emma tugs my hand. "Daddy, I want to show Mommy my picture." "Wait here, sweetheart." But she's already pushing the door handle, already skipping inside before I can stop her. Time splits into fragments. Rebecca's eyes meeting mine over Mark's shoulder, her mouth opening in a silent, "Oh." Mark spinning around, his shirt half unbuttoned, his wedding ring catching the fluorescent light. Emma standing frozen in the doorway, her drawing floating to the floor. "Daddy, why is Mommy wrestling with Uncle Mark?" The roses slip from my hand. 24 red petals scatter across the conference room floor, mixing with the white pages of some contract, with Emma's crayon drawing of our family, of 4 stick figures holding hands under a yellow sun. Rebecca scrambles for her blazer. "David, this isn't—" "Emma, honey, go wait outside." "You brought Emma?" Her voice cracks between accusation and shame. Mark is already leaving, muttering something about a misunderstanding, about talking later, his shoes crunching over the roses as he exits. Coward. Emma hasn't moved. She's staring at her drawing on the floor, now with a boot print across Mommy's stick figure face. "Come here, baby." I scoop her up, feeling her small body trembling against my chest. "Let's go get ice cream." "But Mommy's special day, we'll celebrate later." Rebecca is buttoning her blouse with shaking fingers. "David, we need to talk." "Not now. You can't just take her. Watch me." In the elevator, Emma is quiet, too quiet for a 5-year-old. The security guard nods at us on the way out, and I wonder if he knew, if everyone knew, if I'm the last to know. Emma had been drawing this for months. That night, after Emma finally falls asleep, I sit in her room looking through her art folder, the one her preschool teacher sends home each Friday. I've never really looked before, always too busy, always trusting Rebecca to handle these things. The drawings go back 3 months. There's one from April, 4 stick figures as always. But now there's a fifth figure standing next to Mommy. Mommy's friend at work, written in the teacher's neat handwriting, transcribing Emma's description. May has more. Mommy and her friend having lunch. Mommy and her friend in the big room with the long table. The conference room. In one, they're holding hands. The latest ones are different. Mommy is crying in some. In one dated last week, the stick figure Emma is standing between Daddy and Mommy. Arms stretched trying to reach both, but they're too far apart. Children see everything. We just don't listen. Rebecca comes home at midnight. I hear her car in the driveway, the careful way she closes the door, trying not to wake anyone. She finds me in the kitchen, Emma's drawings spread across the table like evidence in a case. How long? I don't look up. David? How long, Rebecca? She sits across from me, still in her wrinkled work clothes. The same blazer from this afternoon. 3 months, maybe 4. Emma knew. She sees the drawings then. Her face crumbles. Oh, God. She's been drawing it, watching it, trying to understand why Mommy has a special friend at work. It's not what you think. I'm not thinking anything. I'm looking at our daughter's interpretation of your affair. Art therapy, they'll call it in court. Rebecca's head snaps up. Court? What did you expect? That I'd pretend I didn't see? That Emma didn't see? It's not an affair. Mark and I, we're just what? Just destroying 2 families? Just traumatizing our daughter? Don't be dramatic. Emma doesn't understand. She understands that Mommy has a special friend. She understands enough to draw you crying, to draw our family falling apart. Rebecca stands, pacing now. You don't understand the pressure I'm under at work. Mark gets it. He's going through the same thing with his partnership track. His wife is pregnant. I know. 8 months pregnant, Rebecca. I said I know. She's shouting now, then quieter. It's complicated. It's not complicated. You're fucking a married man in your office while our daughter watches. She didn't watch. She saw enough. Silence stretches between us. The refrigerator hums. The clock on the microwave blinks 12:47. 3 different men, same conference room. Rebecca finally speaks. What do you want? I want the last 4 months back. I want Emma to unsee what she saw. I want to not know that everyone in your office probably knew before me. No one knows? Sarah knew. The way she looked at me today, she knew. Rebecca's phone buzzes. She glances at it, and I see her face change. Is that him? It's not. I grab the phone. The message preview shows. Is everything okay? Does he know about the others? The others. My stomach drops. Others? Rebecca reaches for the phone, but I'm already scrolling up. 3 different names in the last week alone. Meeting arrangements, hotel confirmations, things that make my skin crawl. You need help, I say finally. Don't pathologize this. I'm not sick. Then what are you? She looks at me with something like defiance. Tired. Tired of being the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect lawyer. Tired of coming home to the same questions about my day, the same routine, the same family that loves you. You don't love me, David. You love the idea of me. The idea of this perfect family unit. I loved you enough to not fuck someone else in my office. We don't leave. We just learn to live with betrayal. No, that's not right. That's not who I am. That's not what Emma needs to learn. I want a divorce, I say. Rebecca laughs, bitter and sharp. You can't divorce me. Watch me. I'm a family law attorney, David. I know exactly how this plays out. You're an accountant who works 60-hour weeks. I'm the primary caregiver. I pick Emma up from school. I take her to dance class. I know her teacher's name, her friends' names, her favorite everything. You also expose her to your affairs. Prove it. I gesture to the drawings. These seem pretty clear. Children's drawings aren't admissible. Any child psychologist will say kids draw fantasy as much as reality. Emma isn't fantasizing about your conference room adventures. Rebecca leans forward, and I see the lawyer now, not the wife. If you leave me, you'll never see the kids again. Kids, plural. She means Ethan too, our 2-year-old son sleeping upstairs. You can't keep them from me. I can make it very difficult. I can make it very expensive. I can drag this out for years until you're broke and exhausted and settle for alternate weekends. Based on what? I'm a good father. Are you? When's the last time you took Emma to school? What's her teacher's name? What's she allergic to? Strawberries, Mrs. Patterson. And I took her last Tuesday when you had that early meeting. I pause. Or was that not a meeting? She flinches but recovers. 1 week doesn't make you father of the year. And fucking your colleagues doesn't make you mother of the year. I never bring them home. I never let it affect the children. Emma saw you today because you brought her to my office unannounced. On our anniversary. We're both breathing hard, circling each other like fighters in the kitchens we renovated together last summer. The kitchen where Emma learned to walk, where Ethan said his first word, dog, pointing at the cat. If you've ever had your world shatter in seconds, leave a comment saying, I understand. You're not alone in this. Rebecca's voice drops to almost a whisper. I'll tell them you're abusive. The word hangs between us like a blade. You wouldn't. Emotional abuse, controlling behavior. I have documentation of every time you've questioned my work schedule, every time you've checked my phone, because you were cheating. They won't care about the why. They'll care about the pattern of behavior. I'm a lawyer, David. I know how to build a case. Based on lies. Based on interpretation. You raised your voice just now. That's verbal aggression. You grabbed my phone. That's controlling behavior. You brought our daughter to my workplace to manipulate me. That's emotional abuse using a child as a pawn. That's insane. That's family court. She picks up one of Emma's drawings, the one where mommy is crying. I could say you coached her to draw these. Parental alienation. Judges hate that. My hands are shaking now. You would destroy me? For what? So you can keep fucking Mark? So I can keep my children. Our children. We'll see what the court says. She's already filed first, claiming emotional abuse. The law office of Margaret Chen sits 14 floors above the city, high enough that the people below look like ants. Fitting, I think, since that's how I feel. Small, stepped on, easily crushed. Margaret doesn't look like a warrior. She's maybe 5 feet tall in heels, with kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. But Sarah from Rebecca's firm gave me her name with something like reverence. She's the one who handled Tom Bradley's case, she had whispered over coffee, looking around like Rebecca might appear. His wife was a judge. He still got the kids. Margaret reads through the papers while I sit in a leather chair that costs more than my monthly mortgage. Rebecca filed yesterday, one day after our kitchen confrontation. The speed suggests she'd been planning this. Emotional and psychological abuse, Margaret reads, controlling behavior, isolation from support systems, verbal aggression. She looks up. Any of this true? No. I don't mean legally true. I mean actually true. Did you ever yell? Check her phone? Question her whereabouts? Yes, but she was having affairs, multiple affairs. Can you prove that? My daughter saw. Your 5-year-old daughter is not a credible witness. What else? Her drawings. She's been drawing Rebecca's activities for months. Margaret sets down her glasses. Children's drawings can be interpreted many ways. What else? Everyone at her firm knows. Hearsay. What else? She admitted it to me. Your word against hers. What else? I'm starting to understand why people hate lawyers. That's all I have. Then we need more. Margaret pulls out a legal pad. First, the emergency hearing. She's requesting temporary sole custody based on these abuse allegations. The hearing is Thursday. This Thursday? That's in 3 days. Family court moves fast when children are allegedly at risk. Now, tell me about your routine with the children. Everything. For the next hour, I detail every school pickup, every bedtime story, every scraped knee I've bandaged. Margaret takes notes, occasionally asking for specifics, names of teachers, doctors, other parents who've seen me with the kids. Good, she says finally. You're more involved than most fathers I represent. But Rebecca's right. She's been the primary caregiver on paper. School forms, medical forms, daycare, pickup logs, they'll all have her signature. Because she insisted on handling those things. The court won't care why. They'll care about the pattern. She pulls out another document. There's something else. She's filed a restraining order. The room tilts. What? Temporary restraining order. You can't go within 500 feet of her workplace and supervise visitation only with the children until the hearing. She can't. I haven't done anything wrong. She claims you came to her workplace to intimidate her, brought your daughter as emotional manipulation, and she fears escalation. I brought flowers. It was our anniversary. Margaret's voice is gentle but firm. The court doesn't know that. They err on the side of caution with TROs. We'll fight it at the hearing, but until then, you need to follow it exactly. Any violation and you lose credibility. So I can't see my kids. Supervised visitation. There's a center downtown. 2 hours Wednesdays and Saturdays. A social worker will observe and report to the court. 2 hours, twice a week. From everyday father to a stranger being watched. How much, I ask, to fight this? Retainer is $25,000. If it goes to trial, could be triple that. I think of our savings account, the one Rebecca emptied yesterday. I discovered that this morning. I'll figure it out. Margaret slides a contract across the desk. There's something else you should consider. DNA testing. Why would I? They're my kids. Are you certain? You said multiple affairs. How long have they really been going on? Ethan looks just like me. That's not legal proof. If there's any question of paternity, better to know now than have it raised later. The bank account was emptied this morning. I leave Margaret's office with my head spinning and my phone buzzing. 3 missed calls from our bank, 1 from the daycare, 2 from my mother. The bank is apologetic but firm. The account was joint, Mr. Morrison. She had full legal right to withdraw the funds. All of it? The full balance of $47,000 was transferred to an account in her name only. $47,000. Our emergency fund, Emma's college savings. The kitchen renovation payment due next week. I check our credit cards. The one in my name is maxed out. Charges from yesterday. Hotels, restaurants, a jewelry store. She's ensuring I can't use it while making me look financially irresponsible. The daycare is next. Mrs. Morrison called to inform us you're no longer authorized for pickup, the director says carefully. She faxed over some legal documents. I'm their father. I understand, but with a restraining order in place, our hands are tied. We have to follow the court's directive. My mother is crying when I finally call her back. Rebecca called. She said you've been abusive, that you're having some kind of breakdown. Mom, it's not true. She sounded so scared, David. She said you grabbed her, that Emma saw. I never touched her. Mom, she's lying. She's having affairs and she's lying. Silence. Then, affairs, Rebecca? Multiple affairs. I caught her yesterday with Mark Henderson. The one from her office? His wife just had a baby. I know. Oh, David. Her voice shifts from confusion to anger. That little... How dare she call me crying after what she's done? She's trying to control the narrative. She'll call everyone, paint me as the villain before I can tell my side. Well, she forgot who she's dealing with. I've known you since you were born. You've never raised a hand to anyone. Remember when that kid bullied Emma at the park? You talked to his parents like a diplomat while I wanted to throw hands. Despite everything, I almost smile. Don't throw hands now, Mom. I make no promises. What do you need? Money? The lawyer needs $25,000 and Rebecca emptied our accounts. Done. I'll wire it today. Mom, that's your retirement? My grandbabies need their father. That's worth more than any retirement account. This receipt is from the day our son was born. Going through papers for Margaret, I find things. Credit card statements I never saw. Hotel charges on dates when Rebecca said she was at conferences. Restaurants when she was supposedly working late. One receipt stops me cold. The Marriott downtown. February 15th, 2021. The day Ethan was born. She was in labor for 16 hours. I remember holding her hand, feeding her ice chips, telling her she was amazing. I remember her asking for her phone during a break between contractions, saying she needed to email a client. The hotel charge was at 2 p.m. Ethan was born at 6 p.m. 4 hours before our son was born, she was at a hotel with someone else. I searched through more statements. There's a pattern. Hotels always charge at 2 p.m., lunch hours. Always downtown, walking distance from her office. The charges go back 3 years. 3 years. Emma is 5. Ethan is 2. The math makes me sick. Then I find the jewelry receipts. Not for her. She always insisted she didn't care about expensive jewelry. Save for the kids' college, she'd say when I offered to buy her something nice. Men's watches, cufflinks, a $8,000 Rolex purchased last Christmas. I gave her a handmade photo album that year, pictures of our family through the years. She cried when she opened it, said it was perfect. Margaret calls while I'm drowning in paper evidence of my blindness. Can you get into her email? That's illegal, isn't it? Not if you have the password, not if it's a shared computer. Our laptop, the one we keep in the kitchen for recipes and Emma's educational games. Rebecca uses it sometimes for work. I might be able to. Don't delete anything. Don't change anything. Just forward relevant emails to yourself. And David? Look for communication about the children. Anything showing she's been neglecting them for these affairs. The laptop's browser has saved passwords. Rebecca never was good with technology. That was always my department. Her work email requires two-factor authentication, but her personal Gmail opens right up. The emails go back years. Different men. Some I know, colleagues, clients, even the contractor who did our kitchen. Others are strangers. The language is explicit. The planning is meticulous. One thread makes me stop breathing. From Mark, 6 months ago. What about birth control? Rebecca. Don't worry about it. David thinks the kids are his. Thinks. Emma wrote, please don't leave us like Mark's daddy did. The supervised visitation center smells like industrial disinfectant and broken dreams. The walls are painted aggressive, cheerful yellow, decorated with posters about positive co-parenting and children first. Emma runs to me the second I'm buzzed in. Daddy, Daddy, I missed you so much. I drop to my knees and hold her, aware of the social worker watching, taking notes on a clipboard. Everything is evidence now. Every hug too long or too short. Every word weighted. I missed you too, baby. Why can't you come home? Mommy says you're on a work trip, but I know you're not because your suitcase is still in the closet. The social worker writes something down. Sometimes mommies and daddies need space, I say carefully. Like a timeout? Sort of. Ethan toddles over, arms raised. Up, up. I lift him, his solid weight familiar and comforting. He smells like apple juice and that baby shampoo Rebecca always buys. Used to buy. That I'll have to buy now, if I ever get the chance. Daddy, I made you something. Emma pulls a crumpled letter from her backpack. It's written in crayon, half the letters backwards. Dear Daddy, please come home. I will be good. I won't leave my toys out. I won't ask for dessert. Mommy cries at night. I hear her on the phone. She says bad words. Mark doesn't come anymore. His wife is mad. Love Emma P.S. Don't love us like Mark's daddy did. The social worker is definitely writing now. Sweetheart, who told you about Mark's daddy? Mark's little girl, Chloe, at the park. She said her daddy left because he loved someone else's mommy more. Is that why you left? Do you love someone else's family more? No, baby, never. I love you and Ethan more than all the stars in the sky. Then why? Sometimes grown-up problems are complicated. Mommy says you're sick, that you need help to not be angry. The social worker looks up at that. I'm not sick, Emma, and I'm not angry at you or Ethan, never at you. But you're angry at Mommy? How do you answer that honestly to a 5-year-old while being observed? I'm sad about some choices Mommy made, like having special friends. The social worker's pen stops moving. Emma, what do you know about special friends? Mommy has them at work. They make her laugh, but then she cries after. And she tells me not to tell you because it's a surprise. What kind of surprise? I don't know, but surprises are supposed to be happy, and Mommy's surprises make everyone sad. Ethan squirms in my arms, reaching for the toy box in the corner. I set him down, and he toddles off. Emma stays pressed against my side. Daddy, when can you come home? I don't know, sweetheart. Before my dance recital? Her dance recital, 3 weeks away. She's been practicing for months, twirling around the living room in her little pink tutu. I'll try. Mommy might forget. She forgot my school play when she had a special meeting. When was this? Last month. Mrs. Patterson was mad because I was the only kid without a parent there. I pull her closer, kiss the top of her head. It smells like strawberry shampoo and innocence. I'm sorry I wasn't there. You were at work, but Mommy said she'd come. She promised. The social worker clears her throat. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. That's all I get. 5 more minutes to be a father. Emma pulls out her drawing pad. Want to draw with me? We draw together. A house with smoke coming from the chimney. A sun with sunglasses. A family of 4 stick figures holding hands. She insists on drawing a dog even though we don't have one. For when you come home, she says. We can get a dog then, right? When the time's up, Emma clings to me. Please don't go, Daddy. Please. I have to, sweetheart, but I'll see you again soon. Promise? Promise? She pulls something from her backpack, her favorite stuffed elephant, the one she's slept with since she was a baby. Take Ellie so you won't be lonely. But then you'll be lonely. I have Ethan and Mommy when she's not crying or on the phone. I take the elephant, its fur matted from years of love. The social worker doesn't object. As I leave, I hear Emma ask the social worker, "Why can't Daddy stay? He didn't do anything wrong." The social worker doesn't answer. There wasn't just one Mark, there were 3. The private investigator's name is James Morrison, no relation despite the shared last name. He's expensive but thorough, recommended by Margaret as ethically flexible but legally careful. He meets me in a Starbucks downtown, sliding a manila folder across the table like we're in a spy movie. Your wife has been busy, he says. The photos are damning. Rebecca entering hotels, leaving hotels, different men on different days, timestamps that correspond with client meetings and depositions. 3 current affairs that I can document, James says. Mark Henderson, obviously. Also a partner at her firm, William Chen. Billy Chen? We went to their wedding last year. And a client, Christopher Reeves, commercial real estate developer, recently divorced. Because of Rebecca? Unknown, but the timeline is suggestive. There are more photos. Rebecca at restaurants, leaning across tables, touching hands. Rebecca in a car that isn't hers, in the passenger seat, leaning over to kiss the driver. Rebecca entering an apartment building, in a part of town she has no reason to be in. How long have these been going on? Henderson is recent, maybe 4 months. Chen goes back at least a year. Reeves? That's harder to pin down. Could be 2 years or more. 2 years. Ethan is 2 years old. There's more, James says, pulling out another set of documents. Financial records. How did you? Public records for the most part. Some creative investigation for the rest. Your wife has been moving money for a while. Small amounts from your joint accounts to her personal account. But also gifts from these men. Expensive gifts. He shows me bank records with deposits I don't recognize. 5,000 here, 10,000 there. Always just under the IRS reporting requirements. Is this prostitution? No. These appear to be gifts, voluntary, but it establishes a pattern of deception and financial impropriety that could be useful in court. What about the children? Were they ever exposed to this? James flips to another section. Your daughter has been present at her office during at least 3 documented meetings with Henderson. The daycare records show your wife picked up the children late on 47 occasions in the last 6 months, always on days corresponding with hotel charges. She left them at daycare longer to have affairs? It appears so. Also, there's this. He pulls out a printed email exchange. From her work account to Henderson. Mark, what about the kids? Rebecca, they don't need to know. Emma's too young to understand and Ethan won't remember. Mark, but if we're going to be together. Rebecca, we're not going to be together. You have a wife. I have a husband. This is just fun. Mark, I love you. Rebecca, no, you love the idea of me, the escape I represent. Go home to your pregnant wife. When was this? 2 weeks ago, just before you discovered them. So Mark was planning to leave his family for Rebecca, but she was just using him, just fun. While our children waited at daycare, while I worked late to pay for the life she was secretly laughing at. Can you testify to all this? If needed. But the documentation speaks for itself. I've prepared everything in a format acceptable to the court. What about paternity? That requires legal DNA testing, but... He hesitates. I did some research. Christopher Reeves has type O negative blood. It's in his medical records from a public lawsuit over a car accident. So, your wife posted about Ethan's birth on Facebook. She mentioned needing O negative blood for a transfusion. She's O negative too. Yes, but you're a positive. It's on your blood donor card that you posted about on social media. The coffee shop seems to spin. That's not possible. A positive and O negative can't produce an O negative child. No. It's genetically impossible. Sir, are you sure you want to know? The DNA testing center is in a strip mall between a nail salon and a tax preparation office. The waiting room has cheerful posters about peace of mind and know for sure. Everyone avoids eye contact. I need a paternity test, I tell the receptionist. Legal or personal? What's the difference? Legal can be used in court, requires chain of custody documentation. Personal is just for your own knowledge. Legal. She hands me forms, so many forms, then explains I need the children present, or their DNA samples with proper authorization. I have hair samples from their hair brushes at home, collected during my last visit before the restraining order, and I have joint legal custody for now. Hair samples work if they have the root attached. Do you have documentation of the joint custody? I show her the temporary order. She nods, takes the samples, takes my cheek swab. Results in 3 to 5 business days. You'll receive them by secured email. 3 to 5 days to know if my entire life has been a lie. Margaret calls while I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot, unable to drive. The emergency hearing has been moved up. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Can they do that? Her lawyer filed a motion claiming immediate danger. Something about you stalking her at work. I haven't gone near her work. I know, but she has witnesses saying they saw you in the area. That's impossible. We'll fight it. But, David, I need you to understand something. Tomorrow isn't about the truth. It's about perception. Rebecca knows how to play this game. You need to be perfect, calm, rational, sympathetic. The devoted father wrongly accused. I am that. I know. But you also need to be strategic. Don't mention the DNA tests yet. Don't accuse her of affairs unless directly asked. Let me lead. Why can't I defend myself? Because the more you protest, the more you look guilty. It's unfair, but it's how the system works. The other parents have raised concerns about your fitness. The school parking lot is full. When I arrive for the parent-teacher conference, I'm still technically allowed to attend. I see the other parents watching me, whispering. Rebecca's narrative has spread. Mrs. Patterson, Emma's teacher, looks uncomfortable when I enter her classroom. Mr. Morrison, I wasn't sure you'd come. It's still my scheduled time, isn't it? Yes, of course. Please sit. She pulls out Emma's folder. Emma is struggling. Her behavior has changed dramatically in the last 2 weeks. She's withdrawn, not participating in group activities. Her drawings have become concerning. She shows me Emma's recent artwork, dark scribbles where there used to be rainbows, families with figures crossed out, one that's just black crayon covering the entire page. This is since I've been gone? Yes, she talks about you constantly, asks when you're coming back. She told the class you're sick and had to go to a special hospital. Her mother told her that. Mrs. Patterson's expression carefully neutral. I see. Well, regardless of the situation, Emma needs stability, both parents, if possible, working together. I want that, but there's a restraining order. I'm aware. Mrs. Morrison informed the school. She hesitates. She expressed concerns about your mental state, said you've been unstable. Do I seem unstable to you? No, you seem like a father going through a difficult situation. But other parents have expressed concerns. There was an incident at pickup yesterday. What incident? Emma ran toward a man she thought was you. It wasn't. She became hysterical when she realized. It took 20 minutes to calm her down. Some parents felt it was disruptive. My daughter missing me is disruptive. I don't agree with them, but I have to document all concerns. It will likely come up in court. Everything comes up in court. She leans forward, lowers her voice. Mr. Morrison, off the record, Emma needs you. Whatever is happening between you and your wife, that little girl needs her father. I've been teaching for 20 years. I know the difference between a child missing a parent and a child afraid of one. Emma isn't afraid of you. Thank you. But she is afraid. She asked me if divorce means she has to choose who to live with. No 5-year-old should be thinking about that. Probability of paternity, 0%. The email comes at 2 a.m. I've been awake anyway, staring at the ceiling of my childhood bedroom in my mother's house. The subject line is clinical. DNA test results, legal chain of custody maintained. I open it with shaking hands. Regarding Emma Morrison, probability of paternity, 0% regarding Ethan. Morrison, probability of paternity, 0%. The words blur. I read them again, 0%, not mine, neither of them. 5 years of Emma, every bedtime story, every scraped knee, every I love you, daddy, not mine. 2 years of Ethan, his first word, first steps, the way he reaches for me when he's scared, not mine. But they are mine, aren't they? In every way that matters. I'm the one who walked Emma to her first day of preschool. I'm the one who stayed up all night when Ethan had a fever. I'm the one they call daddy. Biology is just science. Love is the truth. But the law doesn't see it that way. Margaret reviews the results with professional detachment. This changes everything. You have no biological claim to the children. I'm on their birth certificates. That can be challenged. If Rebecca knows, she has to know. Then she's been committing fraud. Paternity fraud is a crime in this state. I don't care about charging her. I care about my kids. They're not legally your kids if you're not their biological father. I've been their father for their entire lives. The law is complicated here. You could petition for custody based on psychological parentage, but it's an uphill battle, especially with the restraining order and abuse allegations. So she lies about their paternity, has affairs, neglects them, and she still wins? Not necessarily. This is evidence of massive deception. Judges don't like being lied to. But David, you need to decide. Do you reveal this and risk losing all claims to the children? Or keep it quiet and maintain your position as their legal father? What would you do? I don't know. But you have about 12 hours to decide. The hearing is tomorrow. But if I'm not their biological father, who is? James Morrison meets me at midnight with more information. Christopher Reeves is Emma's biological father. The timeline matches, and there are photos of them together during the conception window. And Ethan, William Chen, almost certainly. He has a distinctive genetic marker, a cleft chin. Your son has the same feature. I think of Billy Chen at his wedding, toasting his new bride while Rebecca sat beside me, 4 months pregnant with Ethan. His child. Do they know? Unclear, but Reeves has been paying for Emma's preschool through a shell company, so maybe. He's been paying for his daughter's school while I thought she was mine? It appears so. And Billy? No financial connections to Ethan that I can find, but he and your wife have been careful. Most of their meetings are at his apartment, not hotels. His wife? Does she know? Unknown, but she's pregnant now too. Another pregnant wife. Another destroyed family. How many lives has Rebecca shattered? This footage shows her meeting Mark while claiming to be at therapy. The security company that monitors our home is helpful once I explain the situation. Yes, they have cloud storage of our doorbell camera. Yes, they can provide footage from specific dates. The footage is damning. Rebecca leaving the house dressed for therapy, but returning in different clothes. Mark Henderson dropping her off when she claimed to be at book club. A parade of deception, all time-stamped, all preserved in digital clarity. But the most damning footage is from 2 weeks ago, the night before I discovered the affair. Rebecca on our front porch, on the phone, clearly visible and audible. I don't care what David thinks. He's too stupid to figure it out anyway. Man hasn't noticed I've been fucking half my office for years. He still thinks the kids are his. Honestly, sometimes I feel bad for how pathetic he is. Almost. But then I remember how boring he is, and I get over it. She laughs. The camera captures it perfectly. The cruelty, the contempt, the complete lack of care for our family. After the divorce, I'll get the house, the kids, and support payments. He'll get supervised visitation if he's lucky. My lawyer says with the abuse allegations, we might be able to terminate his rights entirely. Then Chris can adopt Emma officially. He's her real father anyway. Christopher Reeves, confirming what the DNA test showed. What about Ethan? The voice on the phone asks. Billy doesn't want him. His wife would leave him. So I'll keep collecting child support from David for a kid that isn't even his. It's actually hilarious when you think about it. Hilarious. Our life is hilarious to her. Your Honor, we'd like to call Emma to verify her drawings. The courtroom is smaller than I expected, more like a conference room than the grand halls of justice you see on TV. Judge Patricia Hendricks presides, mid-60s, stern-faced, with eyes that seem to see everything. Rebecca sits across from me, dressed in a conservative suit I've never seen before. She's styled herself as the victim. Minimal makeup, hair in a simple ponytail, wedding ring prominently displayed. The one I saved 6 months to buy. The one she wore while betraying me. Her lawyer, Patricia Vance, is everything Margaret warned me about. Aggressive, theatrical, willing to say anything. Your Honor, Vance begins, my client lives in fear. Mr. Morrison has shown escalating aggressive behavior, culminating in him bringing their young daughter to ambush my client at her workplace. I object to the characterization, Margaret says calmly. Mr. Morrison brought flowers for their anniversary, hardly an ambush. He knew my client would be in a vulnerable position at work. Vulnerable? I can't help myself. Margaret touches my arm, a warning. Judge Hendricks looks at me over her glasses. Mr. Morrison, you'll have your chance to speak. Vance continues, painting me as controlling, unstable, dangerous. She has affidavits from Rebecca's colleagues about my threatening presence at the office. She has the school's report about Emma's breakdown that I supposedly caused. She has a therapist's evaluation stating Rebecca shows signs of abuse trauma. When did she see this therapist? Margaret asks on cross. The dates are in the report. I see 3 dates here, May 15th, May 22nd, and May 29th. All afternoon appointments? Yes. Margaret pulls out papers. Your Honor, I have credit card records showing Mrs. Morrison at hotels during these exact times. Security footage from her home showing her returning in different clothes than she left in. Objection, Vance stands. This is irrelevant to the matter of the restraining order. It's entirely relevant, Margaret responds. It shows Mrs. Morrison has been lying about her whereabouts and activities. If she's lying about therapy, what else is she lying about? Judge Hendricks nods. I'll allow it. The footage plays on a laptop. Rebecca's face goes pale as she watches herself on the porch. Hears her own words about how pathetic I am, how she's been fucking half her office. Your Honor, Margaret continues, we also have emails between Mrs. Morrison and multiple partners discussing their affairs, including one where she explicitly states Mr. Morrison has never been violent or aggressive, that he's too passive to even argue properly. Rebecca shifts in her seat. Furthermore, we have this. Margaret pulls out Emma's drawings. These were made over several months by the couple's 5-year-old daughter, depicting Mrs. Morrison's affairs. The child has been aware of and traumatized by her mother's behavior. Children's drawings aren't evidence, Vance objects. They are when combined with this. Margaret plays another video. Security footage from Rebecca's office building, obtained by subpoena. It shows me entering with Emma and flowers, walking calmly. Then, minutes later, Mark Henderson fleeing the building, adjusting his clothes. Then me leaving, carrying Emma, who is clearly distressed. The child was exposed to her mother's affair, Your Honor, not by Mr. Morrison's design, but by Mrs. Morrison's negligence in conducting her affair in her workplace during business hours. Judge Hendricks turns to Rebecca. Mrs. Morrison, were you engaged in an extramarital affair in your office when your husband arrived? Rebecca looks at her lawyer, then back at the judge. I plead the fifth. This isn't a criminal trial, Mrs. Morrison. Answer the question. It was a momentary lapse in judgment. How many momentary lapses? Margaret asks. Objection. Withdrawn. Margaret smiles slightly. Your Honor, we'd like to submit evidence of at least 3 concurrent affairs, pattern of deception, and financial impropriety, including emptying joint accounts and accepting gifts from partners totaling over $75,000. The judge reviews the documents, her expression darkening with each page. Mrs. Morrison, she finally says, you've alleged abuse. Do you have any evidence? Photos of injuries? Police reports, medical records. The abuse was emotional. Yes, I see that claim. But your own emails state your husband is too passive to argue. How do you reconcile that? People change. He became aggressive after discovering your affairs, multiple affairs, while your children were in daycare. Is that correct? Rebecca doesn't answer. We choose Daddy. He never left us. Your Honor, Margaret says, we'd like to address the matter of custody. This hearing is about the restraining order. The two are intertwined. Mrs. Morrison is using false allegations to gain custody advantage. We have one more piece of evidence. She hands the judge a folder. Inside are the DNA results. I watch Rebecca's face as understanding dawns. Her mask finally slips, showing real fear. What is this? Judge Hendricks asks. DNA testing showing Mr. Morrison is not the biological father of either child, yet he's been raising them, loving them, supporting them their entire lives, while Mrs. Morrison has been lying about their paternity. Is this true? The judge asks Rebecca. I don't. Those tests could be wrong. We have supporting evidence, Margaret continues. Christopher Reeves has been paying for Emma's preschool. He's her biological father. William Chen is Ethan's biological father. Mrs. Morrison has been accepting money from these men while forcing Mr. Morrison to support children that aren't his. That's paternity fraud, Judge Hendricks says quietly. A felony in this state. The courtroom is silent. Then, a small voice from the back. Daddy. Everyone turns. Emma is there with the court-appointed child advocate. She wasn't supposed to be here yet, but she's pulling away from the advocate, running toward me. Daddy, Daddy, are you coming home now? Security moves to stop her, but Judge Hendricks raises a hand. Let her through. Emma crashes into my arms. I missed you so much. Mommy said you were sick, but you look okay. Are you better now? I'm okay, sweetheart. She turns to the judge. Are you the one who decides if Daddy comes home? In a way, yes. He's a good daddy. He reads to me every night. He makes pancakes on Saturdays. He checks for monsters under my bed. She pulls out a piece of paper. I wrote you a letter. The judge takes it, reads it. Her expression softens. Mommy has special friends, Emma continues, unprompted. They make her laugh, but then she cries. She tells me not to tell Daddy, but keeping secrets makes my tummy hurt. Emma, stop, Rebecca says sharply. Emma flinches, presses closer to me. See? She uses her mean voice. Daddy never uses his mean voice, even when I broke his computer that time. Your Honor, the child advocate interjects. I've been observing Mr. Morrison with both children. They show no fear of him. In fact, they're desperate to be with him. Emma has been having nightmares, refusing to eat. Ethan cries for Dada constantly. But he's not their biological father, Vance argues desperately. He has no rights. He's the only father they've ever known, Margaret counters, and their mother has exposed them to multiple affairs, neglect, and psychological harm. Judge Hendricks is quiet for a long moment. Then, I've heard enough. The temporary restraining order is dissolved. Furthermore, I'm granting emergency temporary custody to Mr. Morrison. Your Honor, Vance objects. Mrs. Morrison has shown a pattern of deception that puts her fitness as a parent in serious question. Paternity fraud, multiple affairs conducted while the children were in her care, financial impropriety, and false allegations of abuse. This court does not look kindly on attempts to manipulate the judicial system. But the children clearly want to be with Mr. Morrison. Biology doesn't make a parent. Love, consistency, and protection do. Mr. Morrison has been their psychological father their entire lives. That matters more than DNA. She continues, Mrs. Morrison, you'll have supervised visitation pending a full custody hearing. You're also advised to seek legal counsel regarding potential criminal charges for paternity fraud. Mr. Morrison, while you have no biological claim to these children, you have been their father in every way that matters. If you wish to pursue formal adoption, this court would view that favorably. Rebecca starts crying, real tears this time. You can't take my children. You took them from their father with lies, the judge responds. You denied them stability for your own selfish desires. You exposed them to adult situations no child should witness. You attempted to use this court as a weapon. Actions have consequences, Mrs. Morrison. Primary custody is awarded to the father. The final custody hearing comes 3 months later. 3 months of Rebecca fighting dirty, spreading lies, trying every manipulation. But the evidence is too strong. The private investigators' files, the security footage, the DNA tests, Emma's drawings, the testimony of teachers, neighbors, the child advocate. Christopher Reeves refuses to claim Emma. He has his own family to protect. William Chen's wife divorces him when she learns about Ethan. He doesn't fight for custody either. Rebecca stands alone in court, her carefully constructed world in ruins. This court has reviewed all evidence, Judge Hendricks announces. The children's best interests are paramount. Mr. Morrison has been their primary psychological parent. He has provided stability, love, and protection. Mrs. Morrison has shown a pattern of neglect and deception incompatible with the children's welfare. Primary physical and legal custody is awarded to Mr. Morrison. Mrs. Morrison will have supervised visitation every other weekend, pending completion of parenting classes and psychological evaluation. Rebecca doesn't fight anymore. She looks deflated, smaller somehow. After the hearing, she approaches me in the hallway. I never meant for it to go this far. Yes, you did. You planned every move. You just didn't plan on getting caught. Do you hate me? I think about it. No, I pity you. You had everything. A family that loved you, children who adored you, a husband who trusted you. And you threw it away for what? Hotel rooms and men who didn't even want you enough to claim their own children? Are you going to tell them, when they're older, that you're not? I'm their father, in every way that matters. Biology is just science. Love is the choice I make every day. The adoption papers, will you let me? You'll sign them. It's that or criminal charges. Margaret has the district attorney interested in the paternity fraud case. She nods, defeated. I'm sorry. For what it's worth. It's worth nothing, but thank you for one thing. You showed me who I really am. Not a biological father, but a chosen one, a real one. Can we call you Dad forever now? The adoption is finalized on a Thursday. Emma insists on wearing her fanciest dress, the one with unicorns and sparkles. Ethan toddles around the judge's chambers in his tiny suit, charming everyone. Do you understand what's happening today? Judge Martinez asks Emma. Daddy is becoming our daddy forever and ever. That's right. Even though... The judge glances at me, and I nod slightly. Even though families can be complicated, what matters is who chooses to love you and take care of you. Daddy chooses us, Emma says confidently. Every day. Even when Mommy said he was sick and had to go away, he still chose us. The papers are signed. It's official. They're mine in every legal way now, matching what they've always been in my heart. Rebecca watches from the corner, supervised by a court officer. She signed away her parental rights in exchange for dropping the criminal charges. She still has visitation, but it's limited. 2 hours a month, supervised. She's moving to another state, she told me. Starting over. Running away, more likely. Mr. Morrison, Judge Martinez says, what you're doing is admirable. Not every man would fight for children who aren't biologically his. They are mine, Your Honor. They've always been mine. I was there for first words, first steps, first days of school. I'm who they call for when they have nightmares. That makes them mine more than any DNA test ever could. After the hearing, we go for ice cream. Emma gets chocolate with rainbow sprinkles. Ethan gets it everywhere. His face, his hands, his new shirt. I don't care. Daddy, Emma says, are you and Mommy ever going to live together again? No, sweetheart. Because of her special friends? Because sometimes people grow in different directions. But that doesn't change how much I love you. Mommy says she loves us too, but she also loved her special friends. Can you love too many people? You can never love too many people, but you have to be honest about it, and you have to make sure your love doesn't hurt others. Did Mommy's love hurt you? Her lies hurt me, but you know what? It led to this moment. You, me, and Ethan, officially a family forever. So, maybe it was worth it. Emma considers this with 5-year-old seriousness. I'm glad you're our daddy, even if you're not our blood daddy. My heart stops. What do you know about that? I heard Mommy on the phone. She said you weren't our real daddy, but that's silly. You're the realest daddy ever. You never leave. We don't leave. We choose to stay. The new house is smaller than our old one. 2 bedrooms instead of 4. A tiny yard instead of the sprawling lawn Rebecca insisted we needed. But it's ours, mine and the kids. Emma has painted rainbows on her bedroom wall, with permission. Ethan's room is dinosaur-themed. My room has 2 small beds next to mine for the nights they have nightmares, which is still often. The divorce was finalized 6 months ago. Rebecca got some money from the house sale, but most went to paying back what she'd stolen and settling the debts she'd hidden. She sees the kids once a month now, supervised. Each visit is shorter. Emma loses interest. Ethan doesn't recognize her. Is that okay? My therapist asks. That they're losing their connection to her? She was never connected to them. She was connected to the idea of them, the Facebook perfect family she could show off between affairs. And you, how's your connection? Stronger than ever. Every night Emma asks me to check for monsters. I tell her there are no monsters, just shadows. She says, "Check anyway, Daddy. Sometimes shadows look like monsters." She's right. Rebecca was a shadow that looked like love. That's very philosophical for a 6-year-old. She's been through a lot, but she's happy now. Really happy. She laughs again. Real laughs, not the careful ones from before. And Ethan? He called me Dada yesterday. First time in weeks. He'd been saying Mama, looking for Rebecca, but yesterday, clear as day. Dada. How did that feel? Like coming home. The therapist smiles. You've built something beautiful from something broken. We all have. The kids are resilient. They've learned that love isn't about blood or promises or paper. It's about showing up. Every day. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Do you ever wonder about the biological fathers? Christopher Reeves sent a letter through his lawyer. He wants to set up a college fund for Emma. Anonymous. No contact. I said yes. It's money for her future, and he owes her that much. And William Chen. Radio silence. His wife took him for everything in their divorce. He's got nothing to offer anyway. Do you think you'll tell the kids someday? When they're older, when they can understand. But I'll tell them this too. I chose them. Every day I choose them. Not because I have to, but because I want to. Because they're mine in every way that matters. That's beautiful, David. It's true. We don't leave. We choose to stay. That's what real families do. What matters more, biological connection or daily presence? Share your thoughts below. There's no wrong answer. The dance recital arrives on a Saturday. Emma has been practicing for months, twirling around the living room, teaching Ethan to be her audience. I'm in the front row, video camera ready. Rebecca is nowhere to be seen. She had a conflict with her supervised visitation. Another special friend, probably. Some patterns never change. Emma spots me from backstage, waves frantically. She's a butterfly today, wings sparkling under the stage lights. The music starts, some classical piece I don't recognize, but have heard 1,000 times from her bedroom. She doesn't dance perfectly. She's a beat behind sometimes, turns the wrong way once. But she's radiant, glowing with the confidence of a child who knows she's loved, who knows someone is watching, who knows she matters. After her number, she runs off stage and straight to me, still in her butterfly wings. "Did you see, Daddy? Did you see me fly?" "I saw everything, butterfly. You were amazing." I messed up the turn. I didn't notice. All I saw was my beautiful girl flying. She hugs me tight, wings crinkling. Mommy would have noticed the mistake. Maybe, but I just see you. Perfect, mistakes and all. That's why you're the best daddy. You see the good parts. Other parents are watching, some who know our story. I hear whispers sometimes. That's the dad who adopted his ex-wife's affair children. Let them whisper. They don't understand that these aren't someone else's children. They're mine. Chosen, fought for, won. The final number has all the little dancers on stage together. Emma finds me in the audience again, locks eyes, and doesn't look away through the entire song. She's dancing for me, her real daddy, the one who stayed. After the recital, we go to the park. Emma still in her butterfly costume, Ethan toddling after pigeons. An older woman on a bench watches us, smiles. "Your daughter is lovely," she says. "Thank you." She looks just like you. Emma and I exchange glances. She doesn't look like me at all. She has Christopher Reeves's dark eyes, his angular features. But Emma grins. Everyone says that, she tells the woman. It's because we have the same smile. We do. We have the same smile now, born not from genetics but from shared joy, shared pain overcome, shared choice to be family. That must be it, the woman agrees. As we walk home, Emma takes my hand. Daddy, do you think Mommy is sad? I don't know, sweetheart. Maybe. I'm not sad anymore. I was sad when you were gone. But now you're here forever. Forever and ever. Even when I'm old, like 30, I laugh. Even when you're 30, even when you're 130. That's a lot of forevers. That's exactly how many forevers I have for you. The adoption papers are ready. Evening. The kids are asleep. I sit at the kitchen table with the adoption certificate, running my fingers over the raised seal. Legal proof of what the heart already knew. My phone buzzes. Rebecca. She rarely texts anymore. I saw the recital photos on the school's page. Emma looked happy. I don't respond immediately. Then, she was. Does she ask about me? Sometimes. What do you tell her? The truth. That you love her, but you're working on being better. That families sometimes look different than we expect. That's generous. It's honest. You do love them in your way. It just wasn't enough. And you, do you hate me still? I never hated you. I was hurt, angry, betrayed, but not hate. I'm seeing someone. I don't respond to that. He doesn't know about everything. The kids, the affairs, the fraud. Fresh start? Something like that. Good luck with that. Do you mean it? No, but I hope you've learned something. I hope you don't destroy another family. I'm sorry, David. I know it doesn't mean anything now, but I am. Not for loving other men, but for how I did it, for lying about the kids, for trying to destroy you in court. Why did you? The affairs I almost understand. But why lie about paternity? Why try to paint me as abusive? A long pause. Then, because you're good, genuinely good. And it made me feel like a monster in comparison. It was easier to tear you down than face what I was. And now? Now I live with it, every day, knowing I gave up 2 beautiful children and a good man for hotel rooms and men who didn't want me beyond the excitement. They're happy, Rebecca. That's what matters. Take care of them. I will. I do. Every day. She doesn't text again. I frame the adoption certificate, hang it next to Emma's butterfly recital photo, and Ethan's handprint art from daycare. Our wall of real, not perfect, but real. Tomorrow Emma has a play date. Ethan has a doctor's appointment. I need to grocery shop, do laundry, fix the leaky faucet Rebecca would have called someone for. Ordinary life. Beautiful, ordinary life with my children. My children, not by blood, by choice, by fight, by love, by staying. The sunrise comes through the kitchen window, landing on the 3 cereal bowls I've set out for breakfast. 1 big, 2 small. A family of 3 that was supposed to be 4, but is perfect in its imperfection. Emma shuffles in, dragging her elephant, hair a mess of tangles I'll gently brush out after breakfast. Morning, Daddy. Morning, Butterfly. Can we have pancakes? It's Thursday. Pancakes are for Saturday. But you're the boss now. You can make pancakes any day. She has a point. Pancakes it is. Ethan toddles in, arms up. Up, up. I lift him, feel his solid weight, his absolute trust as he lays his head on my shoulder. He smells like baby shampoo in dreams. Daddy, Emma says, watching me flip pancakes, will you ever get married again? I don't know, maybe someday. Will she be our new mommy? You have a mommy, but maybe someday you'll have a bonus mom, someone extra who loves you. Like how you're our bonus dad, our chosen dad. I turn to look at her. I'm not a bonus dad, Em. I'm your real dad, the one who stays. She nods solemnly. The one who stays, I like that. Can I use that for my Father's Day card? Father's Day is months away. I like to plan ahead. Mrs. Patterson says I'm very organized for 6. You're still 5. Almost 6. That's basically 6. This is our life now. Pancakes on Thursday because we can. Planning Father's Day cards months in advance. Being basically 6. It's not the life I planned, but it's the life I chose. The life I fought for. The life I won. Rebecca's betrayal could have destroyed me. The DNA results could have driven me away. The court battle could have broken me. Instead, they revealed me. Showed me who I really am. Not a biological father, not a traditional family man, but something more, something stronger. A father by choice, a father who stays. Share your own story of chosen family below. Sometimes the strongest bonds aren't blood, they're choice. And if this story resonated, please share it with someone who needs to hear that staying isn't about DNA. It's about love. We don't leave. We choose to stay. That's what real families do.